everybody, it's Catherine. My project today is the second one with the Playful Ghosts stamp set. It's a cling stamp set. It will be available to purchase on July 3rd. I'm also using the Everyday Details dies for the hold circle, I guess you would call it, the dotted circle, and the Spotlight on Nature dies, and I'm using this one, which is the smaller, well, the medium, because there's another ribbed one. It's one of the ribbed ones right in the middle. I'll tell you the exact size when I get them out. Okay, now I'm also using some ribbon, 16 inches of gingham ribbon. This, I believe, is retired, but I'm going to use it on this project. Okay, so what we need, oh, let me show you what's in it. The box measures 3 by 3 1/4 by 1 3/4, so it's pretty deep. And inside we have a backpack ghost, or it could be a pocketbook or rear view mirror. So cute, little ghosty guy. All right, these are also sold out at Oriental Trading. I bought them last month, I think, when they had a sale. Okie doke. All right, so what we need is a piece of pumpkin pie cardstock that is 10 by 7 1/2. Some basic white. We need an extra scrap, which I cut off the end of this for the sentiment of pumpkin pie. Okay, and the two circles, the dotted circle is approximately 2 3/8, and the Highland Heather is 2 3/4 inch. Okay. All right, so this is my host code. Please put that in for any purchases under $150, not including your shipping and tax. And also, if you can't purchase, that's fine. Please subscribe and hit the like button. That helps me out a lot too. Okay, we're going to start on the 10-inch side. And we're going to score at 1/2, 3 1/2, 5 1/4, and 8 1/4. Turn it to the 7 1/2 inch side and score at 1 3/4, 5, and 6 3/4. Okay, now fold and burnish all your score lines. Okay, how we're going to start is the 1/2 inch rectangle is over here, the 3/4 inch is on the top, and there is a 1 3/4 here and on the bottom. And this is what we're going to be doing. Sorry for the yellow paper there. Okay. Let's start down over here. We're going to go to the first score line, cut it to the first score line, and wedge up into that 1/2 inch rectangle. Go to the next 2 score lines and cut them to the first score line, and then wedge both sides. And go to the next score line, cut it to the first score line, and wedge both sides of this square. Okay, now turn it so that the 1/2 inch rectangle is over here. Go to the first score line and cut it to the second score line. Take off the rectangle and wedge the square. Okay, go to the next 2 score lines and cut them to the second score line. Take off the rectangle and wedge the square. Okay, now we're going to take these 4 pieces off. And then wedge up into that 1/2 inch rectangle. All right, and now just round the corners of this 3/4 inch piece that's at the top. Okie doke. All right, and that's what your cardstock should look like when you're done scoring and cutting. Okay, now we need some tear-in tape, and you're going to put it on what's left of the 1/2-inch rectangle next to the score line. Take the backing off. Okay, flip it over, flip over the side with the tape, and then the other side to meet it. So this is your back with the seam, and then we're going to close the bottom. Okay, now we need our, I forgot to show you the DSP before, sorry about that. We need 2 pieces that are 2 3/4 by 3 here and here, and this is again the To Market Designer Series paper. 2 pieces that are 1 1/2 by 3 are going to go on the slightly longer sides, and then 2 pieces that are 2 3/4 by 1 1/2 on the top and the bottom sides. Okay, and these are a little bit long. If you want to, you don't have to. You can just take about 1/2 inch off if you want. And then they don't touch, but it really it doesn't matter. Okay, now let's put this to the side and let's get our dotted circle that is approximately 2 3/8, and we need the Flying Ghost on a broom and Tuxedo Black Ink. And I'm going to try to get it as far to the top as I can. I know it's a little bit harder because it's a cling. Perfect. Okay, put that to the side a minute. And then we're going to get Highland Heather cardstock, ink. Goodness gracious. And we're going to do 2 of the clouds. 1 and 2. Okay, and then we need our little piece of pumpkin pie, and we're going to stamp in Tuxedo Black Happy Halloween. And we're just going to cut that out by hand later. Alright, and I'm going to go and I'm going to fussy cut out the clouds. Alright, so we have our clouds done. We don't have to color those. There's a bunch I'm using, but you could color however you want for the ghost and everything. I'm using light and dark smoky slate, color lifter, dark Highland Heather, light flirty flamingo, dark pumpkin pie, dark shaded spruce, dark daffodil delight, and dark old olive. Alright, so let's start with the light smoky slate, and I'm just going to make a line around the edges of the ghost, maybe under his cape here and on the bottom. Alright, and probably up here where this cape is there. Alright, and then I'm just going to go over it with a color lifter to kind of just soften the edge just a little. Okay. And then for the hat, I'm going to change it up a little. I'm going to put an orange patch. And that is dark pumpkin pie. And then I'm going to get yellow for the bottom of the broom. This is dark daffodil delight. I'm just going to do the broom parts. You could do this orange too if you wanted to. Okay, I'm going to use the light flirty flamingo on his tongue. And I'm going to make cheeks. You don't have to make cheeks though next to his mouth. and then the color lifter again, just kind of soften those cheeks a little. Okay, now I'm going to use also dark pumpkin pie. I'm going to use for his cape. And there's also a little piece over here. Okay. Now I'm going to get dark Highland Heather, and I'm going to do the strip on his hat that the buckle is attached to. Okay. And then for the rest of the hat, I'm going to use dark smoky slate because I didn't want to do it all black so that you don't see the lines, but you could do this as a striped hat if you wanted to do different colors. And don't get the buckle because I'm going to do the buckle with dark Daffodil Delight. Alright. And then I'll pull in the dark Daffodil Delight and I'll do the buckle. Okay, now for the broom, I wanted to match it to the paper, but we don't have garden green blends, so I'm going to start with a dark old olive, and then I'm going to go over it with dark shaded spruce, and it kind of turns it something close to the garden green. Alright, and that is it for coloring. Okay, now let's get our Highland Heather circle that is about 2 3/4 inch. I'm going to pop that up onto there. I'm going to try to get it even, close enough. Okay, now for the clouds. I'm going to glue them on to the white, and they'll stick off a little bit. It's one, and I'll put one diagonal from it on the bottom. Okie doke. Now we need our box again. And I'm going to attach our circles with dimensionals. I'll put this right in the middle. Make sure your clouds are straight on the bottom. Okay, and then I'm gonna cut my Happy Halloween. And I'm going to put a half dimensional on the left part, which is the H's over here. It's gracious. Okay. And then a dab of liquid glue on this side. And we're going to poke this in so that the circle covers the Happy Halloween, but not, it'll just cover that end spot there. And you can cut that, see this one I cut it a little bit bigger. Okay, now I'm going to use that gingham ribbon, but you could use whatever you have. We really don't have a Halloween ribbon yet. Hopefully they'll have one when the mini catalog comes. I really wish they had a DSP too, but this is what we've got for now. All right. I'm just gonna tie a bow. And then I'm gonna get a glue dot just to keep it right in the middle. And that'll keep it nice and down right there. And I forgot to trim. Okay, and that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, my email is below, along with all of the links to my shop and my blog that has everything written out. Okay, please subscribe and hit the like button, and I will see you next time. Bye.